All right, y'all, whether you're at an indoor or outdoor range or just on some land that you and a buddy have or whatever, there are some universal gun laws or rules that are designed to keep you safe all the time. And you want to follow all of those rules or laws. First is you're going to always assume that a gun is loaded, whether it's in a holster, sitting on a table like this, or someone hands you a gun. Even if you watch them clear it, you're going to assume that the gun is loaded. And so since you're going to assume the gun is loaded, you're going to always pay attention to the muzzle or the tip of the gun. You're going to make sure that the muzzle is always pointed in a safe direction. So if you're at an indoor or outdoor gun range or any kind of setup like this, you're always going to want to keep the muzzle pointed down range. So if we want to look at the firearm I'm carrying, I'm always going to assume that it's loaded, even if I know it's empty, and I'm always going to have it pointed down range. That way, in case there's any kind of mistake, if there's an inadvertent discharge, the round is going to go down range and everybody's going to be safe. So at a lot of gun clubs like this one, guns are considered safe if they are in a holster or in a case, or if the slide is locked back. So let's check to see if this gun is loaded or not. And I know for a fact it is not. So I've got that there. And so now I am going to pull the slide back. A round just dropped out. And so now you can see that the gun is empty. And so the other way a gun is safe at this gun range that I like to take folks to is it needs to be in a holster, a case, or the slide needs to be locked back in the rear position and the firearm placed on a table pointing down range. So everyone's going to be able to see inside the chamber and know that it is unloaded. The next one, so we've got muzzle pointed in the safe direction, down range. We're going to always assume that it's loaded. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to identify our target. We're going to know what's in front of that target, what's behind the target, what's next to the target so that's the next one. Whenever you're getting ready to shoot or you're handling a loaded firearm at the firing line, you're going to want to keep your trigger finger out of the trigger guard, away from the trigger. That is very, very, very important, to keep your trigger finger away from the trigger until your sights are lined up and you are ready to destroy your target. So those are some of the basic safety rules, and then there are some for each indoor or outdoor range. So with this, in this range that I belong to, this club, one that's unique to us is a gun is safe if it's in a holster, whether it's inside the waistband, hip, crossbody, whatever, or a case, it's safe there, or the slide is locked back. The next thing is that if, this staging area is typically for where you'll lay your guns out and ammunition and all that stuff, but we have a firing line forward of this position. If anyone is forward of this position, whether they're firing or getting ready to fire, anyone in the staging area, no one should touch a firearm. You do not touch a firearm. You can load magazines, you can do some other things, but you are not to touch a firearm if anyone is forward of this position. Once you are down range and you're at the firing line, you're still going to follow these same safety rules. You're going to assume that the gun is loaded. You're going to identify your target. You're going to practice muzzle discipline to make sure that the muzzle or nose of your gun is always pointed down range. So these are some of the safety rules to keep you safe, and some of the ones that are unique to our club here in Somerville. Make sure you know what the rules are at the indoor outdoor gun club or range where you go. This is an unbelievably fun, safe hobby, great for mental health, mainly because you're so focused on being accurate and safe, you really don't have time to think about all these other things that might be on your mind. So take advantage. If you have firearms or you're near a range, go grab a buddy, go shooting. It's a lot of fun, builds fellowship, resiliency, and discipline. Come get you some.